Hey folks, this is Best in Slot with some brand new footage from Jurassic World Dominion. The Jurassic World official YouTube page just posted a legacy featurette, and it's really just talking about how exciting it was to have Alan and Ellie and Ian all back in the franchise for this final film and what the franchise means to the cast and stuff like that. I definitely recommend watching it, but the reason we're showcasing it today, because they upload a lot of videos and it's often not a super big deal, but this one features a fairly staggering amount of like new footage and new lines and new little scenes that we've never seen before. So we're just going to go through them in this video. We're going to skip forward a little bit. At the start, it's all talking about the old films. Go check it out for yourselves. Definitely go watch it. It's a perfectly interesting little video, but it's not what we're here for today. We're going about halfway through-ish, and that's where we're going to start with the Jurassic World Dominion content. So I'm just going to let this play out for a little bit. So first of all, already new footage technically. We're seeing the Parasol officers getting herded up. I feel like this is very much the start of Jurassic World Dominion. This is what's Owen doing since dinosaurs, spread around the world. Yeah.
Could never have imagined we'd be here working alongside Sam Neill and Jeff.
It is very cool seeing Sam Neill and Jeff and everyone together working together.
So much fun.
There's Beta.
Everything we could have ever hoped for and more.
So there is our first actual. We've seen, of course, the Dreadnoughtus in the prologue and everything like that, and we saw the image. I actually showed it to you just yesterday. You saw the image of it from the Empire magazine of the Dreadnoughtus, but we now actually have footage, and you can actually see, as we mentioned last time, that helicopter zooming above. So this is, I said it's probably North America, but I think it might be somewhere in Europe or something like that. Either way, we see the Dreadnoughtus in action, looking absolutely majestic, as it did in the prologue as well. Obviously, if you want to see all this without me chattering over the top, I will link the video down below for yourselves. I'm here to react and discuss and stuff like that. So.
And more. I thought it was a fantastic idea.
So this is Laura Dern at the farm. Again, this is one of the first things we saw earlier on, where we see that massive locust attack. She's coming up. She's going to look at the barn, and we think the locusts are emerging sort of back here somewhere.
Thought it was a fantastic idea to bring these two worlds.
Again, look at these little things. What's going on here? Who have we got here? We've got Ian, Ellie, and we've got Alan all together. This is not, though, the environment from the. It's interesting because Ian's looking up at something huge. Alan's terrified. Everyone's terrified a little bit. Ellie's desperately getting someone to run towards them, running away from something. Maybe this is their introduction to the other characters. It looks like we're in a dig site or something of some description. Maybe it's part of the Biosyn Valley. It definitely doesn't look like the Giga scene in particular, though. Although it's worth remembering, lighting and stuff will be a lot different post-process compared to pre-process.
To bring these two worlds together.
I've heard some speculation, and there will be spoilers for this, I should mention. So heard some speculation, rumours apparently about what's going on here. Alan with the flame, apparently he's again exploring Biosyn Valley, some cave in Biosyn Valley, and he's going to find a group of the Dimetrodon, which we haven't really seen Dimetrodon at all at this point in time. We know it's going to be in the film, it's in a lot of the marketing and a lot of the merchandise, but it seems Alan might stumble upon like an actual pack of Dimetrodon hiding within these caves in Biosyn Valley. Now, is that something that Biosyn's working on themselves? I assume so, but why are they here in a cave section? Why is Alan looking for them? I don't really have any clue at this point in time.
Together.
It's been a great privilege to be a custodian of something like this. Our legacy character.
I'm just going to do something slightly cheeky. Can we see what's going on? So we've got Maisie and Owen and Alan, everyone together, the whole gang. If you actually listen to the voice all the way through, it says basically they're going to have a sort of somewhat separate storyline, and then it's going to converge, is the feeling I get. I'm just going to look at this monitor.
Privilege to be a custodian of something like this.
Okay.
Our legacy characters are
I might be a bit optimistic. Is there a way? Oh, not really. So here we can see Ian, Ellie, Alan, and Claire all together. It looks like they're in the Biosyn Valley. You can see in the background on these monitors over here, we've got the flames burning away. So this is probably the Biosyn research facility. You can see in the lighting in their faces in particular, it very much matches those scenes we've already seen. So they've broken into the Biosyn facility, or you've been let in maybe by Mamadou you pronounce it differently. Maybe by Mamadou's character somehow. And Claire's doing some fancy pants stuff, and Ian's helping, and Ellie's just dramatically waving her hair towards the camera. Actually, you can see at the end there that Ian also starts to turn around. So someone's clearly walked through the door. this year. Those two reunited yet again for the third time. This is probably on the plane by the looks of it. It looks like it's on the in the hangar of the plane, in the storage area, also in that massive plane that gets attacked by the Quetzalcoatlus. I'm imagining, given it's an action film and this happens in every single plane in every action film, part of the plane is going to break off, maybe the doors come loose at the back or something, there's wind soaring in, the chances of falling out obviously go up, and maybe the Quetzalcoatlus is now attacking them from the rear of the plane and they're turning around and seeing it, trying to get to them from this left-hand side.
World characters are back.
This is, of course, what we've already sort of seen, but Ian just could not care less. I was going to say this is the same scene as one we've already seen. It's very, very similar. We're outside, it's nighttime. This area actually does look... I said this wasn't the Biosyn Valley, but it's beginning to look a little bit more like it to me. And given them all together and what they look like, and they're looking a little bit haphazard, I do feel it's probably the Giga scene. Owen's got that same rifle he was using when exploring the facility in the other screenshots we've seen. But the interesting thing is, we saw that image, of course, of the whole gang hiding behind the car as the Giga kind of stalks around it. Mamadou Afi's character, and I know I'm butchering that last name, I apologise, his character was not in that scene. He was not in that image. So, I mean, he works for Biosyn, as we know, so maybe he's, at this point, he's come around. Maybe that scene was just a promo shot. Maybe it isn't actually in the film, and this is more what we're going to see. Because actually in that scene as well, in that image, we saw Ian on the far side kind of sneaking around the car in a very bizarre behaviour. And I see Alan doing the same thing, basically. Ian just looks chill as anything.
Our storyline.
Got a little sprinting going on here. So Owen sprinting through the tundra. Maybe this is when we see Blue get captured at that point. We see Beta being sort of baited with the dead fox and then trapped from beneath with the traps. So maybe Owen's chasing them down, trying to capture them. And we'll listen to Claire here for a second.
Our storylines intersect. It's the convergence of the two franchises.
Our storylines connect, is the convergence of the two franchises. And again, tons of little glimpses of new footage here. So, Ian and Ellie together again. Ian always looking for the next ex-Mrs. Ian Malcolm. Big splash of glass there. We've got Ian in the background, we've got Ellie, we've got Alan, we've got Claire, we've got the Wonder Wise's character, we've got Maisie, we've got near enough the whole gang there. Something's breaking through. Again, this looks like inside the facility, but more later on. When they first get there, it seems to be it's Blue at nighttime, and it's Alan and Maisie and Owen, and they've got their own little storyline. Owen with his rifle, Alan with his pipe, and then that lot come together at some point. The lighting, colour-wise, very tonally shifts from blues to oranges, and we've seen this quite a lot. And this feels, again, this is that same scene with the Giga and everything, and the flames and the locusts and all that kind of jazz. Something's attacking them. Maybe the Therizinosaurus, which again suggested to be appearing around here. It's very cool seeing Claire and Ellie together. Claire's one of the characters I actually really like in Jurassic World. I'm not a big fan of Owen, but I really do like Claire. So seeing Claire and Ellie together and working together is pretty great.
The convergence of...
This is the scene I keep referencing with the blue lighting and the pipe. Bless him.
The two franchises.
Even there we have interesting. So Owen and... I just love it. We've got all these weird little couplings going on, all these little groupings going on, sticking all the characters together. Owen and Ian together, exploring again more of this facility. I feel like this facility is going to be a massive part of the film, given how much of the scenes, how many of the scenes seem to be taking place in it.
Two franchises.
This one's really interesting. Maisie, Alan, and Ellie. First of all, interesting combination having Maisie with those two, but in Biosyn suits. Literally in Biosyn laboratory equipment. What is going on there? I have no idea. I would very much be unsure what to say about that. There has been a suggestion that I've heard that the DFW are working with Biosyn and are maybe not totally aware of the depths of what Biosyn's up to. You know, what that Biosyn has been doing wrong, blah, 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 blah. And Biosyn and DFW have been working together. So maybe Alan and Ellie are working for DFW/Biosyn, and that's how those two separate groups come together. With Owen and Claire, etc., obviously working more for the what do you call them? DPG still, maybe potentially they're working with someone else, or they're just doing their own thing, wrangling dinosaurs, trying to save Blue, blah 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 blah. Whereas these guys are obviously not. However, it could be more different. It could be something like they've broken into work on things. Well, we'll see a little bit more on this in just a second. It's taken me a very long time to get through this last part of the video. Velociraptor got a great line from Wu here.
We need to fix a terrible mistake.
And most
Need to fix a terrible mistake. Now, it could be talking about two different things here.
To fix a terrible mistake.
Is it we or you?
The two franchises.
We need to fix a
It's
terrible
we.
mistake.
Okay, so first of all, that's Wu. We need to fix a terrible mistake. That's Wu being... he regrets what's happened. We know he's going to take a more protagonistic role in this film. He's now reticent about what's gone on, and maybe he wants to help save the world, basically, and that's how he's going to coincide. We saw him working on the Locust, and I feel like that's it's obviously the same scene. He's there in his sweater and his long, luscious hair, and he's obviously working on this Locust, maybe trying to undo some of the damage that they caused. Maybe Wu initially worked on the Locust and is now trying to undo that damage. Or he's not talking about the Locust at all, and he's talking about dinosaurs everywhere and this genetic power that he helped spread, really, with his actions in the previous two films.
most importantly, go on a true.
Driving through the... this is obviously the scene with the Nasutoceratops. I was very curious why the Nasutos were going quite so crazy. Of course, we see all that dust and the mist as the Nasutos are barreling around everywhere. And it seems, this is because of this. This is when this volcanic activity is going on, or whatever it is that's causing the fire. That's smashing into the ground, smashing into the vehicles, and that's causing the Nasutos to run around like crazy.
God's scary as hell adventure.
A little glimpse there of Maisie and Alan, I think it is.
Hell adventure.
It's very hard. It's always like brief seconds that we get given.
God's
Maisie and Alan hiding behind something. Again, dark, blue lighting. Who knows? Is it Therizinosaurus? Is it Pyroraptor? Is it Giga? Is it Dimetrodon?
This is what everything has been leading to.
I could use your expertise.
You come?
And that is Owen. Seemingly, is it the same scene? Ah, see, this is interesting. Because that's definitely framed to look like it's the same scene. It doesn't look like it is. I think they're trying to suggest Owen's recruiting Ian and Malcolm, and it could be. It could be that the lighting is just entirely different, but based on what I'm seeing here, I would suggest... I mean, he's talking to Claire, isn't he? We know this is the scene where Claire comes to get Owen. We've seen that before in the other trailer.
Use your expertise.
And now he's saying that he wants her in. I think it's meant to suggest he's recruiting Ian, but I don't actually think that's the case.
You coming or what?
That one we do know. There's the Malta chase, which you've seen before. Pyroraptor, seen before. Seen this before.
Why do they always have to go bigger?
A little bit extra glimpse there of the Malta Atrociraptor chase scene that we hadn't seen before. This little bit here.
To go bigger.
Just ducking under some scaffolding.
Don't move.
And our first proper Giga Roar as well. They really need the name here. I really don't think they can keep assuming that people see that logo and know instantly what it is. We might, but...
Don't move.
One more time. Interesting sound they hear. It's definitely higher pitched than Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's got this kind of squeak alien-esque nature to it, which I think they've done quite a lot for the dinosaurs recently. It's definitely something I saw in the hybrids a lot. But that is it. It took us a long time to get through that like minute and a half of video, but there's tons of new scenes. I don't know if any of them add too much individually, but as a whole, I think it's going to spark a lot more discussion, I guess. We've seen, obviously, a lot more of the film now. It's going to be interesting to try to piece together the film from what we've seen, but I'm not sure I even want to do that. I still want some surprises, when I actually watch the film in a couple of months' time. Either way, that's the Legacy Featurette, so thank you very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, throw me a like down below. Let me know what you think about this, of course, in the comment section down below. Is there anything I didn't pick up on? Let me know in your theories and comments down there. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye.
Houston, if you're ready, we'll maneuver.